Okay, unfortunately, it's not the coil. Just tested. I tested the coil yesterday with a multimeter, and the primaries read good. Just no spark out of it. And tried different coil today. Had another one laying around and tested it. And I thought, you know what? I better test that thing really. So I just hooked it up on here and used putting power to the coil. Putting power to the coil here with a spark plug wire out there, and just using the ground. So I'm taking the place of the electronic ignition or points. I'm just grounding the coil just momentarily. And you can't really see the spark. I can't see it. I'm half blind anyway, but I can hear it. And I damn sure felt it when I did it, because I couldn't see it. And at first I couldn't hear it, but it is making a light little spark there. Very, very light. It's sparking. It's weak, but it's there. So I'm going to need an ignition module. I was afraid of that. I was just pricing them in there. And, I don't want to buy something really cheap to put back in here. This bike's going to get rid, and it ain't a damn trailer queen. So looks like I'll be springing for Dyna. Sure as hell ain't buying no Ultima or crap like that. So I don't know. I might just go to a good old reliable Dyna S. But then I have to get an ignition advancer to go with it. And no rev limiter, which isn't really a big deal, but it's nice being able to program curves in it. Problem with an ignition mechanical advancer, you can tune them, but it's not easy like on an electronic. You want to change the advanced curve, you need to change the springs. You can get the standard springs, the heavy duty springs, or the light springs. And all that does is that allows the flywheels to come in, fling out sooner, or hold them in longer. Heavy springs, like for a heavy bike, big old FLH, you'd want to use the heavy springs so it doesn't fling out as quick. Light bike like this, light springs or standards. And then you can change the advance too by mechanical advancer. It uses little roll pins in there as the stops, how far it slings out on the plate. So you can grind those slots slightly more. It's hard, but you can do it. You're just not going to know what the advance is going to be, really. They used to make an offset pen, which was a weird looking contraption that would give you like 2 degrees more or 4 degrees more, whatever, but you don't really need to do that too much, not on this thing. So probably ignition advancer and Dyna S. We'll see. I'll probably do the dual fire instead of the S, instead of the single fire. But we'll see on that. Have to order one up. So the single fire coil was just bad. And the dual fire coil, it was good. That's the one I just tested right here, was the coil that I thought was bad that I had, but it's weak, but it works. It sparked on one cylinder anyway. And I got this one here that is actually a new one, which I'll probably keep because it does work. And I wasn't sure about this one really. This old one I had laying around. Like I said, it's weak, but this one had more spark than this one does. And, I know there was probably something wrong with this coil, but I really don't remember what it was. This is a -83A coil, so it's the right resistance, 3 ohm. Or actually, I think this one read out at 3.5. And I didn't measure this one. I just got it. It's supposed to be right, but probably need to measure it before I decide on whether I'm going to keep it. But yeah, we do need an ignition module. I had a sneaking suspicion that's what it was going to be. You know, some of that stuff you can't trust. I've heard nothing but bad things about Ultima. I'd never personally used one. I know I've replaced a bunch of them over the years since they came out. They work good for a while, and then until they don't. So we'll get rid of that, and I'll go in the house here and order or start searching for what I need. And other than that, I hope everybody has a great weekend. I kind of just shot my weekend to hell. I was gonna put this thing all back together, and I'm not gonna ride it this weekend, but at least get it started up to where it runs halfway decent. But next week sometime probably. Hopefully before next weekend. All right. Thanks, guys. Everybody have a great weekend. Thank you.